Hi, it's Mindy. Today I'm working on several sample boards for a client of mine. The majority of what I'm making samples of is a polished acrylic Venetian plaster. Okay, so you probably have heard of Venetian plaster, maybe even from me, and the fact that it's available in different coarsenesses and sheens. Some is polished to a high polish, some is not able to be polished. This product is can be polished to a very high sheen, and I will show you an example of one of the green samples that I finished the other day. Okay, so here it is. So this has 2 coats of acrylic Venetian plaster on it in green. I'm doing it in several different colors for this client, and as you can see, I have quite a production here. This is my dining room table. This right here is the first coat that I applied in a color called alabaster. So this is just the first coat. I'm pushing it to dry with a fan, and as you can see, it's not 100% coverage on my board. It's probably about 80 to 85% coverage. Maybe if I get down, you can see the really shiny spots like this are showing where the poster board, actually mine is polystyrene. But anyway, so it's not 100% coverage on the first pass. You kind of give it a little bit of movement on the first one, and you let that dry either overnight, or you can push it in this case, or I'm pushing it. And then the second, then there's a, kind of a little bit of a different technique for the second coat. And then once that's dry, it can be burnished to a very high sheen, and then I applied wax. So I'm just going to kind of give you a short, easy tutorial as I work on these other colors, and you can kind of see how it's done. Okay, I'll show you on this next board. This one, the plaster I'm using is a Sherwin-Williams color called Accessible Beige. So I bought a quart of Accessible Beige, put one, just one, you could put 2 passes of Accessible Beige on a polystyrene board, okay? And it doesn't cover it 100%. Like I said, I could put a second coat on, but I know it's gonna get covered up with my product, but I still wanted to start with the same base coat, okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my tape my board down so when I'm plastering it doesn't move around, okay? Because when you get to a wall, it's not going to move around, and it just makes it aggravating if it moves around. So I always do this. Okay, so as far as the plaster, like I said, it's acrylic. It's not, this one isn't lime based, this is acrylic based. It's much easier to work with, and I don't do a lot of polishing plaster, so I have done it in lime. This is much, much easier, so it's up to you. But anyway, this one is from Texture Line. I get this from the Plaster Center in Minneapolis, okay? This product is called Reflecta. And I order it in the mail, and it comes and it has these little clips on it because, of course, you don't want it opening in transit. Okay, so you always have to kind of deal with these little clips. So I just bought quarts of, I think it was 6 colors, so my client has several choices, okay? So anyway, okay, so this is Accessible Beige. Plaster dries much lighter, okay? As it dries, it gets lighter. So, if you are looking for a certain color, you open the can and you think, oh, that doesn't look right. Just know that it dries quite a bit lighter. It seems to me, I've heard that it dries about 30% later, but I'm not even sure about that percentage. Okay, so just want to make sure everything's okay. So I'm taking a little putty knife, and I'm using this is an Italian trowel, okay? This one is called Bianco. This particular one was made specifically for very light colored plasters because it doesn't mar the surface. You know, sometimes metal will leave little gray marks. This particular trowel won't. So if you're doing a dark color plaster, you could use other ones, but this is the one I use when I'm doing really light colors, okay? It's very creamy, like butter. Okay, so I'm just going to apply it. Sorry about that. So it has some interest to it, okay? And I'm leaving just what we call holidays. I'm leaving little spaces open, okay? Because the next, there's going to be 2 coats on it. So the next coat will fill that in and fill in where all these ridges have been formed, okay? And then later when it's polished, that's where the magic happens and all of those ridges really come to life, okay? When you're on the wall, it actually goes pretty fast. I'm just really playing around with it too much. But anyway, so that's the first coat, okay? Let that dry. Again, it's gonna dry lighter. It's already starting to kind of dry over here. But normally, like in a room, like if I were doing this on the walls in a room, I would let it dry overnight, okay? So that's the first coat. Okay, so this first coat is dry. Now I'll apply the second coat. Make sure your trowel is clean. So on this pass, we're going to do 100% coverage. I think I told you the last time we did maybe about 80% coverage, okay? Need a little bit more. Okay, so once I'm sure everything is covered 100%, you can already see that it's starting to burnish, so I'm going to leave it alone. Okay, and just a little spot here. I'm gonna let it dry, and then once it's dry, we can polish it. Simple as that. You can see that I used my drill with a polishing bonnet on it. That is the way that I would polish it on a larger wall, just to save my energy. But another way to do it is to polish it actually with pressure and burnish it with your trowel. I may use both methods. I may follow up the polishing with my drill with the trowel, just to get some final real sparky streaks. And I just wanted to show you can actually polish it with a rag, a soft clean rag. I just wanted to show you how easily this polishes. I did this polishing within a couple hours of putting that second coat on. You can wait longer. You can wait till the next day, but the longer you wait, the harder you have to work to achieve the sheen. Now I'm going to apply immediately afterwards some wax. I'm going to use this side of the sponge because the other side had a little bit of green on it. So, okay, so you're going to just apply it in a circular kind of organic manner. This just adds a layer of protection. So you definitely want to use wax in a high traffic area, or let's say in a bathroom. I did a kitchen a while back and I waxed that one. Okay, so we're just going to do that to each one. And just like when you're waxing your car, you put the wax and you think, oh, I just cut the sheen, and we're going to polish it. And you don't have to wait very long to polish it either. Just a few minutes, actually. Okay. This is already ready to be polished, and that's because I have a fan on. So the shine comes right back up. You know, it has a good coating on it. Let me finish these sample boards and we'll wrap it up. Here are all 4 samples completed. So I hope you learned a thing or two about applying Venetian plaster that is made of acrylic. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think.